Oke, so hello Thinkers, kembali lagi pada live stream White Space hari ini, pagi ini jam 11 ya. Bersama saya Ibra di sini sebagai brand designer dan kita ada teman spesial ya. Beliau panggilannya MJ. So MJ, you can introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Michael. I'll be talking in English. Just a little bit about me. I won't rave on too long, but I guess I've been in the creative industry now, 20 something years, from all fields, graphic design up to, digital, SEO, game, music. I guess I've been in the creative industry, so 20 something years. Yeah.
Hari ini teman-teman Thinkers kita akan live stream tapi dengan bahasa Inggris ya, karena bersama MJ saat ini. Jadi kita akan berbicara tentang merger. Merger itu apa? Nah, mari kita kupas sekarang. So MJ, I got some questions related to our topics right now. It's about merger and acquisitions kind of thing in companies and business and brands. But the basic question first, like, what is actually merger? You've seen apa? Nah, mari kita kupas sekarang. So,
Well, I think the most basic analogy would be, say you're living in an apartment and you've got 2 rooms, but obviously, it would just be easier if you had another person living there. That would help pay for the rent, pay for the food, help cleaning and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a union of 2 companies coming together, but under the same one unified brand. I guess if we're talking about companies or brands, it's different to partnerships in that both partners retain their own identity, whereas a merger is where 2 companies come together as one.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying this merger actually is not so far based on your explanations. I've seen this merger is kind of 2 companies that is trying to develop more. It could be on their market segmentations. It could be on their profitability and others kind of growth in business or brands, but they're not being acquired by one bigger company, but they are going together making a new identity. So that is a merger, Thinkers. But the second question, MJ, why does any brands or business they need to do kind of merger stuff?
I don't think
Being
they need
acquired
to.
by
It's
one
a company
bigger
wants to
company, but
enter,
they are
larger
going
market.
together making a new
They want to
identity. So
expand their
that
services
is a
or
merger,
their menu,
Thinkers.
I guess
But
you'd call
the
it.
second question, MJ,
They want to bypass
why does
laws
any
or legal
brands
aspects
or
that they don't
business
have to go
they
through
need to do
because it's
kind
already
of merger
been
stuff?
established. So, for
I don't think
example,
Being
they need
acquired
to
by
say
one
some company
bigger
wants to
company, but they are
a Japanese
going
company wants to come
together
to
making a
Indonesia,
new
but they
identity.
can
So
their
that
services,
is
they
a
merge
merger,
the menu,
Thinkers.
I guess
But
already
the
said
second
that.
question,
They want to bypass
why does
the market aspects
or
that they don't have to
business
go
they
through
need to
resources
do
because it's
kind
already
of merger? Second question,
saves a lot of
I
time.
think
being
they need
acquired
to
by
say
one
some
But
company.
yeah, essentially it's about expanding
okay. So
deliverables.
if you're talking about the
But,
they are
a Japanese company
going
wants to
together
come to
kind of
Indonesia,
yeah.
but they
So
can their
that
services,
is
they
a
merge
merger.
the menu.
Plans,
like I
right?
already
It
said.
could be
Second
making
question,
more HQ,
bypass
why
laws,
does
the market
HQ brand
aspects that they don't have to
management
go
need to
resources
but then
because it's
if
already
I could say
saves
the
a lot of
purpose
time.
being
They need
doing
to
a
say
merger
some company.
But yeah,
is
essentially it's about
they need to
expanding
grow in
yeah.
their more
So-
secure
deliverables.
potential. So
That's
if
what I'm
you're
saying.
talking about
Because
the
they
they
are
are
a Japanese
I believe
company
that
wants to
many
come to
brands,
Indonesia,
two brands,
but
or
they
more
can
doing
their
mergers.
services, they
At one other stuff, they need to develop, let's say, export
but
in they don't have the
Okay,
more
so-
secure potential.
So
but the other
if you're
brands,
talking about
they
the
have the
the
resources.
Japanese
I believe
company
that
wants
they
to come
need
to
the
Indonesia,
market
but
that
they
the
can
other
their
brands mergers.
services,
Like I have the
at one other
some stuff.
my
They
examples,
need
but I will
to
mention it
develop.
later.
But let's say
Talking
export
about this
but
in
but they don't
more
have the
secure
potential.
potential.
secure potential.
So
but the other
if
brands,
you're talking about
they
more
have the resources.
bigger
I believe
market
that they need
related to
the
their
product.
product,
Like if I could say,
like
gaming,
I have
at
the
one other
some
stuff. I think
my
they
examples,
need
but I will
to
mention it
develop not only gamers doing getting their like gaming laptop, but I believe there is also a video editor and maybe web developer that is trying to seek any laptop that is fit for their working purpose, right?
Mm.
Since basic office kind of laptop is not competing to their skills or their needs, so that's why they are seeing the gaming laptop is the most appropriate for their needs. So then gaming laptop could develops more than rather than just a RGB LED kind of stuff. There is also
So that's why they are
gaming
seeing
laptop
the
that
gaming laptop
offered
is
in a
the most appropriate for their
office
needs.
kind of
So,
shape.
Mm.
But then
it
gaming
is
laptop
still a gaming
could
laptop.
develops more than
I know
rather
that
than
kind of
just,
purpose
because not much video editor or web developer liking the way the LED that RGB kind of stuff is the most gaming
There is
laptop.
so that's why they are
gaming
seeing
that kind of
the
that part is
gaming
exists
laptop
offered
is
of that
in
in
the most
a
appropriate
bit
for
more
their needs. Kind of
appropriate
so-
and bigger.
Mm.
But then
market
gaming
is
laptop
still a gaming
that
laptop.
is
Develops
the
more
purpose of a
than
I know
rather
that actually because
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
not
But then
much. We
we-
got another questions
Mm.
actually, MJ. Looking at the perks, I think merger is on a good purpose, but I believe that any kind of decisions having like their negative aspect,
Mm.
like I don't know how you see these perks in doing merger kind of stuff, MJ.
Well, I think it comes down to the initial objective, which was essentially, like you said, being able to enter. It could be, like I said, a new market. You're able to work with a bigger team of different people with different skills, already pre-developed, branding, already, developed their own IP and all this kind of stuff. So rather than investing 60 years in developing, Mickey Mouse or something like that, you can just come in and buy the whole company, and you've got all access to the full, catalog of IP. It's like Disney buying out Star Wars, for example. They've got access to all that merchandise, the films, future productions and whatnot. And they didn't really, have to go through the whole process of inventing it and, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was already preset. You've got access to suppliers that have already been, nurtured in relationships. It's more efficient. So the idea is, essentially being able to place yourself in a position that
Okay.
you can be more creative, you can be more profitable, and all this kind of stuff. And it doesn't always happen like that, though.
Okay.
There's a lot of failures over the years. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Mm.
But talking about these kind of perks, I've seen the human way. Like, I believe that the teams or the boss right there is having a kind of greed or their priority of position. So they have this control over their men or over their
Yeah.
teams. But since they are doing merger, so there is now a two boss that is going to be selected by properly appropriate kind of decision thingy. But then maybe the
Quite
old
disruptive.
leaders or kind of maybe the old teams, they have a bit less of control about related to their old business unit. So that's the part of the perks in merger. And then the other stuff,
properly
since they are
appropriate kind of
becoming one new identity,
decision thingy.
there is
But then
also
integration.
maybe the
on their
old
system,
leaders
maybe the
or
Internet
kind
of
of
Things, or
maybe the old
UI,
teams,
the UX design.
they have a bit less
their
of
main
control
apps
about
as their main
related
products.
to their old. It could be
business unit.
so
Take some
that's the part
time
of the
to
perks
make it
in
fit
merger.
and then the
For
other
their
stuff properly
since
for
they
customers
are to
kind
use
of,
it.
one new
uh,
identity.
It is quite funny.
Thingy,
There is
but then
also
maybe
one company is
integration,
maybe the
selling,
old
system
leaders
maybe the
or
Internet
laptop
of Things,
but the
or
other
maybe
company
the
is selling the
UI,
system.
UX design.
They
But
have
the
a
laptop
bit
and
less
system
of
main
control
apps,
about
not as their main
related
product,
to their
same,
old
fit,
Yeah.
same purpose. So if it got released in the market, well, obviously the merger got failed, right? So that's how I'm seeing the perks in doing mergers. And the other questions, MJ, how do you see the benefits in doing merger?
Well, obviously it benefits, both parties. As to how you balance that benefit, I don't know, because someone's going to lose. You know, like for example, you know, Microsoft just recently took over Blizzard, and that was like the biggest merger ever. It was something like
Okay.
$60 billion or something. But in that, 1,900 people were fired. So, you know, so someone's got to lose at the end of the day, because if you're the one coming in with the greater share, you get more power and you got more say over what, you know, what's going to happen essentially with the company. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously the benefits are, like we just mentioned
Yeah.
before, you know, you got more access to different, you know, product lines,
Okay.
different brands that you can work with, different IP. Yeah, so, you know, the end game is about, you know, profitability, being able to, support your own company, but I'm assuming, you know, companies that are in a position to merge are probably, you know, funded by shareholders and whatnot, which could also, we won't talk about it, but you could also look into, you know, hostile takeovers and whatnot, where companies, you know, rather than go through direct means in building relations with that other company, they go straight to shareholders and try and steal the company,
Okay.
and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's an interesting, you know, idea. I think in my perspective, it's always someone that's bigger coming in and, you know, taking over essentially. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it could be balanced. Like I said, like you might want to open up some agency in Japan, a graphic design company. So rather than going through all that hassle of setting up, you know, visas and legal things and all that, you could just go through another company, work together, and expand and so on.
Well, I'm seeing this kind of benefit aside of maybe the culture, like you said, some. But here I'm seeing the better strength and competitiveness in doing mergers. And also this kind of competitive,
Work
I
together.
believe a more
And
better
expand and
product.
so on.
More better.
Well, I'm seeing this kind of
way to
benefit
communicate
aside
to the
of,
market.
maybe
It gets
the culture.
them, these two or more business that is doing mergers, they could have a better potential in the uncertainty in the market.
Yeah,
So they have
provide something more
a better,
innovative.
You said
yeah, a
some,
better
but
fit. No, a
here
better
I'm
market fit
seeing
to
the
the product.
better
And
and
their brand's growth. Like maybe the other brands could have some way of communications that is focusing on a B2B aspect. Of course, if speaking to the other company, they're not doing a daily content stuff in social medias, but the other brands that is going on to the end customer kind of stuff, not the B2B but the B2C, of course they will a bit more talking in a maybe in funny ways, maybe in a other daily kind of humor skits. So if this two part that could be like a yin and yang getting in a new identity, they could scope two kind of business, no, two kind of market that is going on in the B2B customers, and the other one is going on in the B2C market. So that's how I'm seeing this benefit in doing a merger.
Yeah.
So talking about
Definitely.
that, you got any examples? More talking in the
Well,
success
just,
stories.
I mean, I'll let you
maybe
talk about it. 'Cause
maybe
you were
in
talking
a other
about it earlier, but
daily kind
the
of
Gojek thing,
humor
Wikipedia,
skits.
that's definitely
So
an
if
example of
this
what you just mentioned.
two part that
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few examples of just things that, you know, Disney, for example, acquiring.
talking about
Pixar,
that, you got any examples?
and they were
More
able to
talking in the
incorporate-
success stories.
I mean, I'll let you talk
Technology.
about it in
Maybe-
creating, you know, amazing 3D you know, films, and then apply that to their existing, you know, catalog of characters. You know, things like, yeah, Microsoft being in the press, being, you know, literally the biggest merger ever, and they've been able to gain access to some of the biggest, you know, brands ever, like WoW, World of Warcraft, and Call of Duty, and all those types of things. Not to mention, you know, They bought what is it? Minecraft, which is literally the most downloaded game
yeah.
ever.
I forgot that game.
300.
Then the others that you might not forget to mention, MJ, is Facebook and Instagram.
Oh
I
yeah,
believe.
of course.
Yeah, Facebook is well, in Indonesia, Facebook had a bad backstories in here because once the Facebook is released in the market and Indonesian people got some accounts in there, we'll get to a edgy kind of era. Well, maybe in Europe, in America, they are getting on the emo era. Like you remember there's some people in
Right.
Facebook using a photo profile, one-sided eye, one the others is closed
Yeah.
by their crazy hairs.
Yeah.
But in Indonesia, it gets to edgy stuff. Some people are in, I don't know to mention that, but it looks really bad. Like it's totally different, and that's why
Right.
I'm calling edgy is the
Okay.
right
Individuals.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then the other parts that I want to mention is Gojek and Tokopedia. So
Yeah.
Gojek is now running a new identity as a GoTo. What is their benefit right now? They are having a simple and safe payment methods using GoPay.
Yeah.
And then the Tokopedia having a better kind of courier sending kind of part, a bit more sure because they have a more way to send to their own customers.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm seeing it.
Definitely one of the smartest companies in the
Hmm.
last 2 years.
Then
Yep.
MJ, we got one question here in the live chat. I think I will answer this because it's in bahasa.
Okay.
Kalau merger bank itu gimana menurut kalian? Kayak bank, BNI, terus bank syariah, bank dari jadi bank syariah Indonesia. Nah, jadi untuk merger bank ini sebenarnya sama untuk mengskop target market yang baru. Karena pasti dari segi perekonomian kita yang di pemeluk agama Islam dan yang bank biasa, common bank itu berbeda. Di prinsip kita ada yang namanya tidak setuju terhadap riba. Nah, di sini tujuannya bank itu selain untuk menyamakan persepsi value anti terhadap riba, salah satunya adalah mencari target market yang benar-benar baru dan lebih luas. Jadi pasti pengguna nasabahnya Bank Syariah Mandiri, pengguna nasabah di BNI Syariah dan BRI Syariah, itu awalnya terpecah sesuai benefit dari jenis tabungannya. Tapi karena sekarang menjadi satu identitas lagi, akhirnya mereka ini berubah menjadi berubah ke fitur yang lebih bagus yang bisa dinikmati oleh pasar-pasar baru mereka, kayak gitu. Bisa jadi dari fitur keunggulan tabungan yang paket A, yang paket B, dan seterusnya. Jadi seperti itu thinkers yang bisa kita ulas. So MJ, we need to go off since
Alright.
this is our statement, guys. So we got to the end session. Minggu depan kita akan white space lagi dengan topik yang lebih baru, dengan pembawa yang juga baru. Jadi teman-teman stay tune di white space setiap Sabtu jam 11 and see you guys.
Okay. See you guys.